Hi, so I'm Charlotte Vrata, a second-year PhD in computational neuroscience at the Donders Institute in the Netherlands. And today I want to give you a step-by-step method to write a motivation letter for your bachelor's, master's, PhD application, or perhaps a summer school or internship you're trying to get into. And I will take you through my motivation letter that will hopefully give you a little bit of an idea how I wrote it, how I structure it, and what I think about. So your motivation letter should be a complement to your CV. So don't copy your CV in your motivation letter. It should kind of show a combination of your personality, skills you acquired, and some hardships you overcame. Usually also in applications for PhD programs or master programs, they have specific questions they want answered, such as why did you choose this master program or why did you choose this PhD? And usually these questions are in the description of the program you're applying for. So that's already my first tip, and that is to do your research well, know your audience, and know your own personal strengths. So with know your audience, I mean know what you're writing for and who you're writing towards. So for example, if you're writing for a specific professor in physics or you're applying for a specific PhD program in physics, I would really emphasize on your physics skills, right? Whereas if you're applying to a bachelor program and applying towards a certain committee, try to find out what this committee is interested in hearing or what kind of skills they want you to have. And before you even start writing, try to narrate your story such that you fit this picture perfectly, right? And then also know your strengths. And with this, I kind of mean if you have certain strengths, for example, in writing or you're really creative, I would try to put this in your letter. So we'll go over my letter soon, but my letter, for example, is not very lyrical in how it's written because I'm not a really good writer. So I try to put in way more emphasis on the skills that I have instead of trying to convince them with a beautiful narrative. But if you don't have that many skills yet, or you're just starting out in your academic journey, I would try to lean a little bit more on your writing skills and try to engage the people with the story. I also want to say there is a difference between a personal statement, a motivation letter, and a cover letter. I won't go into many details here because usually for a PhD, these are kind of the same and kind of combined into one general purpose letter. But for example, if you're applying for a company or applying for a certain program, they do usually ask for a certain type of letter in a certain format. So make sure you have the correct one. And I'll put a link below that explains this difference in a little bit more detail. So first things first, you want your motivation letter to consist of the introduction, of course, then the body of the motivation letter, and as last, the conclusion. So I will grab my motivation letter and I'll take you through each of these sections and give you some tips in between that hopefully will help you write yours. So first of all, usually in the Netherlands, we start quite formally when we write our motivation letter. So we usually start with dear Dr. ... and Dr. ... So I had to write to 2 professors. And this is already my first tip. Try to find out who you are writing to. So don't just start with dear Miss or dear Sir. Try to find out the names of the people that will be judging you. This just shows that you did your research and you know exactly what you're applying for. Of course, if you're applying to some general master program, this is a little bit harder to find out. But if you're applying for a specific summer internship or a specific PhD program, usually you can find this information online. Okay, so the first paragraph of your motivation letter is usually your why or your real motivation why you apply to this project. So I am writing to you to apply for the PhD position in ... And the one tip I have for this is to make it as personal as possible. So don't just say I'm interested in the brain because I find it super fascinating or something general along those lines, because there's 100% chance that most of the people have written something very similar to that. So try to find something that motivated you to apply to this project that's very specific to you. So I'll read the one that I wrote. So this project interests me due to its focus on depression and its underlying neurocortical substrates. Depression comes quite close to me, as I've seen multiple people in my environment struggling with its devastating grips. It is hard to make predictions about the trajectory of depression, as it has proven to be different for each patient. Therefore, I found the method proposed in this study extremely impressive, as it makes use of the data from MRI, GTI, fMRI, and genetics, and combines these into newly developed methods. So yeah, this was my real motivation at that time. I do have some people in my environment that have dealt with depression. I didn't want to go too much into detail because I kind of felt that was not really any of their business, but I did want to show that I had a strong motivation to apply for this project and that I had something personal that linked me to this project. So then the next 3 paragraphs I wrote were on the skills I had. So usually the body of your motivation letter is written in a certain format, and my postdoc actually taught me this at that time, and it's kind of written in the STAR method format. And if you don't know the STAR method, I will go over it real quickly. So STAR stands for situation, task, action, and results. So the situation is describe the event or situation that you were in. The task is the task that you had to complete. The action describes the specific actions you took to complete the task, and the results close with the results of your efforts. So this is usually a technique for interview questions during your application, but I also found it a really good technique to write parts of your motivation letter, because usually they ask for specific soft skills and specific hard skills. So soft skills are more personality skills, so things like I am determined or I'm a friendly coworker or things like this. And if you write it in the manner I am a friendly coworker, you just state that you are. Usually people don't believe it, so I would recommend to write these kind of skills in the STAR method format. And I will read one of the paragraphs I wrote such that you will get an idea of how I did it. Currently, I'm in my final year of the Cognitive Neuroscience Master. I'm working together with Dr. ... to set up a new analysis technique to uncover small distributed differences in brain imaging data between 2 groups. During this period, I have not only learned to build a pipelines from scratch for analyzing this data, but also took the study a step further towards a higher order analysis, which uncovers the smallest distributed changes between the groups. The results at the beginning pointed us towards negligible conclusions. However, we were able to solve the problem at hand by working together with Dr. ... This experience has taught me persistence and the importance of collaboration. So I wrote for every skill they asked, I wrote a paragraph like this. And sometimes they don't ask for specific skills or specific soft skills, and then you just kind of have to think of what you think they will think is important. And you can sometimes find this online, but you can also think of it yourself, right? Then lastly, I want to go to my conclusion. I don't think my conclusion was the best. I think the best way to write it, personally, now that I've read a few more motivation letters also of friends, is to write it kind of in this model where you start in the beginning with something and you point back towards this in the ending, so you get a really nice, well-rounded letter. I didn't do that in this letter, but I still think my conclusion is very okay, it's decent. So I'll just walk you through it. In conclusion, I've worked both in groups and independently on a multitude of projects, and through these have become notably efficient in time management and flexibility. I am confident that I can work on this project and apply the skills I have learned to bring it to a comprehensive solution. I firmly believe that this project will make a significant impact on the future developmental trajectory of patients with depression. Due to this reason, this is the PhD project I want to work on, and I would be honored if you considered me for the position. And so the last few tips I have is to try to keep it short. I know people that write really long motivation letters if there's no strict word count or something, but usually the max I would say is 2 pages, but even that I would try to keep it on a shorter amount and go even towards 1 page, because usually people that have to read it don't have any time, so the shorter you can keep it, the better. Also, I would show it to as many people as you know, so professors if you know them, teachers, fellow friends, even your mom, because they all have relevant input and can kind of see or kind of can give some little tips. So the more people you can show it to, the better it becomes, I think. And lastly, the thing I want to say is a lot of people think they don't have relevant experience, but actually in the motivation letter, this is not really very necessary, because usually if you already passed with your CV, you already have the relevant experience for them to even read your motivation letter. So in the motivation letter, they usually just want to see some soft soft skills or a little bit of your personality, or how did you overcome adversity. And these can be super specific events that happened in your life. So they don't even have to be related to university. It could be that you worked in a healthcare center or that you worked with children, for example. And usually these kind of little glimpses into your life leave a lot more impact than the formal education, written style things. So yeah, these were the tips I have for writing a motivation letter. If you think anything is missing, I would love to hear it down below. And also, if you're gonna apply soon, I wish you the best of luck and hopefully you get into any summer school, bachelor, master, or PhD that you want to. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time. Bye.